What's up, everybody? We have Shane tonight. So excited to finally have you on the show. Love being in your Patreon, man. Anybody, everybody, if you want a really badass Patreon to get into, go to Shane's. The chat's always popping. You never know what's going on. And that's what I love about your stuff. You know, I can go in there and read, learn something every single day.
Thank you.
You know, I love that about your channel. So
thank you. I appreciate the shout out about that. Thank you.
Absolutely. What's up, RO? Miss Nikki, how are you, Miss Man? Mr. James, he was not number one today. Usually he is number one. Oh, I think Tyler lost sound. No, there he goes.
I'm here.
What's up, Mr. Vargas? How are you doing, sir? Miss Jamie, she's also a Patreon member. Who is this? Hey, Steven. Or Stefan. What is it?
Steven.
Steven. Okay.
Yeah. I asked him the same thing.
I know. Okay, good. Hey, Jamie.
Make sure I was pronouncing it right.
You know? I know it's you know, you don't want to mispronounce somebody's name. Hey, Bear, what's up?
What's going on there?
Miss Shauna Kana, how are you doing, Miss Ma'am? And Patrick. What's up?
What's up, big man?
M&K. Mr. Mike. All right. Okay. I think we're good now.
So I wanna Sammy made a comment. So I want to tell a quick story if that's all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it this comment?
No, it's glad to meet you in Canada. I still wanted the belt wrapped around me, but it's cool. So so I'm walking around Billy's. I got my 15 minutes lame belt on. I'm strutting like a peacock and all this stuff. And Sammy, like, you know, he's like New York or whatever. So he kind of mumbles something. I don't even hear him all the way. All I hear is like picture with the belt. And I'm like, you got to earn this belt. And he's like, I can't get a picture with you with the belt. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, you can take a picture. Yeah. But I thought, like, I just assumed like he wanted the belt. I'm like, you got to earn this. Then I felt like an ass, you know? So sorry, Sammy. That's my public apology, Sammy.
That's funny. Hey, Steven. Oh, that's great.
Oh, well, I'm super stoked to have you on too. We were talking backstage, and I have been watching your stuff since you started in 19 and 20, and we connected in 20 definitely and started talking a bit. Super stoked to have you on. Everything you've done from when you started to now has been ridiculous. Like your growth has been crazy. What you've been able to do, like breeding, and then also social media wise, has been crazy and cool to watch. So it's great to have you on, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for all the kind words too.
Tyler was like 12 then.
yeah. Tyler was like 12. No, it's funny because I Sal Gomez, I talk to him daily, you know, and who's this little kid Tyler? He's like, oh, he's cool, man. Go ahead and chat with him. Because me and Sal kind of had these rules like then. All right, if it's like some kid, we need like their parents' permission before we're sending them stickers and all this stuff. Like, there's got to be a little bit of like rules here, you know? And I'm like, who's this kid? He's like, oh, that's Tyler. He's cool, man. Yeah, chat with him. I'm like, all right, you know?
Yeah. I just, I don't know. Last week I cut my first clutch from a female I got from Sal 4 years ago.
Nice.
And she was posset. I was like, I'm not sending her shit out. And she proved het to het, candy het to candy het, and got 3 out of 6 candy pied. So,
man,
nice.
That's great, dude. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah. It's been a journey for to get that girl to lay, but it's been fun. So, most people in here, I think we can kind of skip the like, who is Shane Kelly intro.
Yeah, if they don't know, they need to go away.
But one thing that you did super recently that I'm very intrigued about is the Red Line road trip stuff that you've been doing. So, give us a rundown on that, what that is, and how fun it's been so far, because it looks really fun.
So it started with an idea from Steven from Leviathan Snakes. And it was like, he just called me and he was like, man, I have this idea. Let's go on a road trip to CRBE Canada. And then it just snowballed from there. And then we got Robin from Redline involved. Took him on as the sponsor. Thank you to Robin for that. And then we kind of made it like a community event. So like all your reptile related travels, just go ahead and tag Redline, Leviathan, and Small Town. We'll share your post if you're traveling to and from a show. And then we kind of rolled into Charlotte. Me and him both vended Charlotte too, but the Canadian portion was it was like a real like road trip. I mean, Steven drove 5 hours to get to me in Knoxville, and then it was another 14 hours up to Will at Royal Canadians. And then we visited Mark Mandic, and then we came down to Billy's in Toronto, did CRBE, and then headed home. And on the way home, though, we did break it up into 2 trips, though. So, but yeah, man, hotel hopping. I did something I don't normally do, is I shared a room with another man, but Steven was a great roommate. So thank you to that, Steven, you know.
Did he snore? That's my first question.
Yeah, just a little bit, though. But like I have a Frenchie that snores, and he wasn't any louder than the Frenchie. So I was like, I could deal with that, you know. So
that's the only problem I have sharing a room with somebody, is the snoring and the arguing over who's snoring. So that's cool.
Steven's a great roommate and a great road trip partner. So anytime I'd do that, anything like that with Steven, anytime. Yeah, we got along great. So
yeah.
So, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, you want me to get into details on everything, or just go ahead and pick away whatever you want, whatever you guys want to do.
Well, no, I was gonna ask about the CRBE. Again, I watched the video today that came out on Leviathan's channel, but you know, how was the CRBE? What was like the most, you know, crazy snake there? What shocked you the most, specifically, you know, at the show?
So, CRBE, it's a different experience than like, I mean, I would put it right up there with a Tinley and a Daytona and a Super Show and all that. I would put it. He doesn't snore any louder than my Frenchie, Courtney. That's all I know. So, no, I would put it up there with our top tier shows for sure. Something that is different about it, though, is it is a pet expo, but they have it all like delineated and segregated. Like, so there's reptiles, you get into plants, then you get into aquatics, and then you get into the mammals. So they got like cats and dogs and stuff. But mainly everyone has to walk through the reptiles. It's the first section to get there. So you're seeing like these nice looking dogs, like big old cane corsos and like giant fucking heads on them. It's like badass dogs. So that's different. The reptile section is like smaller than a Tinley, but everyone's booth is on point. All the animals are like total eye candy. I think, and this is just my opinion on this, their tables overall are better looking, in my opinion.
Okay.
And I might catch some heat for that, but that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it because I was there.
So this comment down here has me in stitches right now.
Yeah, I mean, it was really similar to a Frenchie snore. So yeah. Well, he snores like a dog.
Oh, Lord. So what was the best, like, overall ball python you seen there out? You were like, dude, I need this in my collection.
Well, I bought one at Mark Mandic's house. Anything on Mark Mandic's table is like glowing orange, super clean, super smooth. And I'm gonna be honest right here. I've seen everything at Mark's house, so I didn't pay attention to the animals that were on his table too much. I was filming his display and show setup and stuff because I'd already seen it all. Something that I didn't see beforehand was Antoine from DPR, and I don't remember all the genetics, but it was a simple combo. It was only like 3 genes, but it was like a lace GHI Wookiee or something. Ooh. I don't know, but I mean, like genetically, it wasn't nothing crazy, but man, that was like a smoking animal, like such good contrast. And yeah, I mean, that was a smoking animal. Of course, Billy had a bunch of fire there too. Peter Williams Reptiles and his hybrids and stuff. I spent some time there looking at that because that's just cool and interesting, you know. And those Woma, I think there were Womas mixed with ball pythons. They were literally just like a ball python head on a Woma was what they look like in like Woma size. I'm like, this is so crazy. Like you hybridize these things and all it does is put like a ball python head on it, you know?
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, and it was cool. And they had tree monitors and a Bronya. There was a good variety of stuff. They had hog noses. Gecko Diva had cresties. They had a bunch of tarantulas. It was very diverse. It was a good mix of just all the creepy, crawly critters. You know, it was great. I love it. And everyone's booth there looks very professional. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's like right on par with the Tinley or a Daytona or any of them. I mean, I've never been to Daytona, so I can't speak on that. But I know people put it up there. But it's like right on par with Tinley on level of quality and presentation and all that, for sure.
Have you made a Pomona show yet?
Yeah, I've been to Pomona and Anaheim since I'm from there originally. But
what did you think about those shows?
They're good. I like the venue better at Anaheim, but it's better at Pomona, honestly.
Yeah. So out of all the big shows I've been to, Pomona's got to be my favorite so far. Just massive building, just to walk that same building for all weekend long and not see anything twice. So
yeah, so I haven't been in the recent times because I know that they added like mammals and aquatics and stuff too, I think.
So yeah, they have 2 buildings now.
Yeah. So I haven't been with since it's like that. I went when it was only reptiles.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's big and everything. But CRBE, man, like they were all very happy to have like an American crowd there. Like very hospitable, welcoming. A funny little story, like me. There was a few of us that we were special guests to CRBE and that they were sharing the post. So then like we go to walk in on vendor day and they got us locked out. And then Steven was like, well, maybe we should go around the back or we could call or something. I'm like, nah, screw that, man. I seen some guy like cleaning the windows in there and I just like, hey man. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, we're the film crew and we're supposed to be in there for the show. And he's like, all right. And lets us in. So we were actually there on Friday, kind of snuck in, but I mean they knew we were there once we were in, but it was fun, like an old concert goer trick, like tricks to get backstage, you know. So
that's funny.
Yeah,
I love that. So one thing I do want to kind of talk about real quick, or however long you want to, is the auction coming up that you and Jessica are doing together for our friends.
Baud.
Yep.
Yes. Can you tell our audience, just fill them in on what are like the best donations? Because I know like not everybody can donate a snake, and sometimes that's not what they're looking for their collection. Sometimes it's actually a gift certificate that would be better or whatever for future. So,
all right. So just off the top of my head, we had 2 new ones come in today. One from Brock Wagner. Don't hold me to the precise genetics, all right? Because this is going off the top of my head. But Brad Boa donated a hurricane, I think possible sugar clown, like right now, right before I logged on. Brock Wagner, there's a leopard, redhead, something het clown. We got a 25 block of shed test from RGI. We got a 10 block of shed testing, Charlie. And Charlie is also offering free shed test for any animal in the auction that's a posset. So if you buy a posset, Charlie will test it out for you for free. Redline is covering all the shipping that's auction related. So nobody has to pay for shipping. Doesn't matter buyer, seller, all those little normal rules that we have on auctions.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Huge.
Redline's stepping up, man, helping out when we need it. Man, there's jeweled lacerdas. There's some artwork. Man, there's a ton of ball pythons. I don't know. Jessica's added some. I've added some. I've kind of backed away and had people message Jessica because I was jumbling up all the pictures between all the platforms.
Right. People don't understand how hard it is to do an auction and time consuming to do an auction correctly. Right. So hats off to you and Jessica for doing this for them, and for everybody who's donating. It doesn't, like I said before, it doesn't matter if it's a t-shirt or sticker pack or anything's going to help. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So. And I want to give Jessica a big shout out because I don't think she gets enough recognition on these. Like Holly was saying, there is a lot of backroom work when it comes to the auctions, like the whole organizing, getting the pictures with the right lot from the spreadsheet and keeping track of all that stuff. And her husband helps while we're live, entering who won, what the amount was, all that. So that's like a whole team, the whole back rack couple over there. So thank you to both of them. Mr. Chris doesn't get any credit any of the time. So big shout out to the Chris hair.
There you go. Hey, Benna. Hey, Charlie. How's it going, man?
We're just talking about you, Charlie.
Yeah, his ears must have been burning, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And Angie Jar Pythons has like this wood board thing, artwork. So there's a bunch of like I donated a hog nose. I think Jessica's donating a hog nose. So there's other species other than ball pythons. There's a bunch of good ball pythons, something for everyone at every price point. And I mean, me and Jessica went over the list yesterday and we had 60 items in and we still got a few more that came in. We're pretty much like shutting it down unless it's like a upper tier item at this point. Cause we got 60 lots is about 3 hours of auctioning. And that's that's about all I can do. Honestly. It's
Well, if y'all need any help, I have a little, history in helping out and doing those myself. So just let me know. You can tag me in.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's Sunday at 7:00 your time?
No, it's Sunday, October 13th at 6 p.m. Eastern.
6.
And that is Tinley weekend, but that is also Tinley is over at that point. So people traveling can jump on whenever they can and bid or whatever. And for everyone that's not going to Tinley, we're bringing Tinley to you on YouTube in the form of an auction.
There you go. And if you can't donate, you can still come and spend money.
Yeah.
It goes both ways. If
and then a little bit of how it works, like the winning bid, they're going to donate their bid to Jeremy's GoFundMe. And then that's a public record. Don't donate anonymously. You want your name on there. There's a public record. They can send their screenshot of their donation to the person that donated the animal and ship away. It's that easy.
That's
awesome. Lots of prayers still going out to everybody in Florida. They're fixing to get hit again. And then again, after that, I don't know what the next one's going to be, but I know this one coming up, it's already a 5, right?
I think it was a 4, but then I seen US Arc Florida like a few minutes before we logged on that they posted this is the most tornadoes Florida's ever had.
Yeah, hurricanes.
Yeah,
they even had a tornado today.
No, they were talking about tornadoes. Like it is
like the most tornado. Yeah,
it was like I don't know. It's
crazy.
Yeah, they're really getting hammered. And anybody that needs help, they can reach out to anybody on this screen right here, and we can make something happen.
Yes.
So
that is the auction. So any of the YouTube people out there in the chat world that like auctions and like you could just even come and just watch if you want, but I guarantee you there will be something there for you to bid on. So
yep, absolutely. I've been wanting a hog nose for a while, so maybe I can talk Bobby into letting me bid on something.
Yeah, I know I donated one, and I know Jessica was donating one, so I can't hold, but there's at least one, but I'm pretty sure there'll be 2.
I'm sure he's in there listening, probably going, I know. So let's talk about your sunset project, man. You and Stephen have Courtney just been doing all kinds of wonderful things with that.
Yeah, that's more them than me, though. I mean, I have my one girl. I have my clutch. I'm actually like probably, I don't know. I'm probably moving away from Sunset because my G-stripe clown things filled up the racks, man. So
yeah,
I really like the Sunset stuff, but like one guy can only do so much and be effective. That's,
yeah.
you know.
Hey, Melinda.
Right. What's your collection size sitting at right now? What are your projects? Like how many specific projects do you have? Different projects as well.
I have one main project.
Yep.
G-stripe clown, but I've been adding hypo and DG in there along the way.
Yep.
So there's a triple, quadruple thing there that I'm building towards. That's my main recessive base.
Right.
So along the way, I've sold because I used to have Puzzle and Pied and Dreamsicle and all these other things. But as you breed, you know, Tyler, as you like get through a couple years and you start realizing how many holdbacks it takes to keep multiple recessives going, you're just like, man, do I keep buying racks? Like if I keep buying racks, then I won't ever have any time to sleep or anything. So I made this rule like 2 years ago. Like when I would analyze a project, like, am I willing to spend like, you could pick whatever number you want, but for me, it was like, am I willing to spend between $5 to $10,000 for a cool male for this project? If the answer is no, then the whole project has to go because I'm just wasting space and time.
That's a good way to look at it. Hey, Blakers.
It's very smart.
Yeah, it is.
So, I mean, there's some, all the animals here have something to do with G-stripe, clown, hypo, DG. Usually there's a mix of that in them, and I'm still, moving along. But like Wookiee, Confusion, there's other things going on too, Codom-wise. But
just letting you know, I've been looking for a Wookiee for a while. So, hey, Carissa.
I just in the incubator, I'm hatching some shrapnel clowns right now. So that's a cool project. Ooh. That ties into G-stripe clowns. So like I'm still able to play around with some stuff. So that's something I bought a male. It's been about 2 years from Corey DeLong CD Constrictors. I bought a shrapnel spot nose het clown male. And then I started breeding them like right about the time he posted that he hit the super shrapnel clown.
That thing's crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, man, I'm so happy I bought that boy a couple years back, and I'm breeding him right now.
Can we possibly see him? Is he
the male
really
breeder?
Yeah, I need to see that.
Oh my God!
So, all right. So. Spot nose and shrapnel. So it's hard, man. So it kind of gives it like gives it like a hurricane vibe.
Yeah.
But it jumbles everything up.
That is sick.
But yeah, this boy is a great eater and breeder. So I got his little I got his babies poking their head out of the egg right now. And
nice.
So I'm excited for that. And then I have I should be making, I got another female that I should get shrapnel Batmans because the project's still kind of like in its infancy. So go with some established stuff. Yeah. I already got the stuff. See what it changes in a Batman and stuff.
Yeah. What was the first thing you threw him to?
The first thing I threw him to was just a normal clown because so like the clutch that's in the incubator is just a normal clown.
Okay.
So I'm only IDing spot nose and shrapnel.
Easy.
And, just starting it out. So then that way I could start building my eye for it and stuff. Cause I know sometimes it can be subtle and stuff too. So yeah, you throw them to like something with 5 genes and I'll be like, I don't know what it is, but it's cool.
Shedtesting.com, everybody.
Yeah. That's one, good thing about starting simple, especially with like the new genes. I learned that the very hard way 2 seasons ago with like KRG. Like I was throwing it to like 3 gene male to 5 gene female, and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on.
Right.
So like being able to just break down, it's like, okay, I know what it looks like, whatever, shrapnel clown. So when you add pastel, it's like, okay. Or when you add enchi, okay. Like you can find the differences. I think everyone needs to, hone their eye, like you were saying, to what you're exactly looking for, because some things can be subtle or super high expression, but you got to be able to ID both of those because they're the same thing.
Yeah, and then along the way, you're going to find out like what it works good with, what it doesn't work good with, and all that, and you'll be able to pinpoint that. And if you just got like 5-6 genes in there, like, I don't know what it is, I don't know if it's working good with this or not, like, yeah.
Right. So what is your big thing going to be, putting the shrapnel into the G stripe clown, or are you going to go like shrapnel hypo clown first, shrapnel DG clown first, or?
I'll definitely be throwing it. So if any of these shrapnel clowns I hatch this year are male,
yep,
I'll definitely be throwing it. So like the next generation will have het G stripe attached to it,
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
And then hopefully those will be male, and then just run those straight to the female. Bam. Plug and play. Yeah.
Plug and play. I love it.
Yeah. It's funny how certain clutches you want males and other clutches you don't. And then it's like you always hit the opposite of what you want,
Every time. I just paired a chocolate Batman with a GHI female just to make me some nice hets,
Yeah.
Guess what? It was male heavy. And I was like, oh, man.
Yeah. It's the odds are crazy, man. I've paired like 5 gene clown combo males to like a cinnamon G stripe just to make some like powerful double hets. And I hatched like 5 normals. And I'm like, how the hell is that even possible, man? It's like a 1 in 256 in the wrong direction there. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
but
but
guess what? I got those females up there and they're breeding size now. I'm like, well, they're still double hets. 3 years ago, they're still worth a lot of money. So,
and that's the other thing with volume too. It's funny to see like back-to-back clutches I just hit. I hit 4 males and 2 females. The 2 females I hit were 2 genes each, and the 4 males that I hit were 5 genes each. All the like crazy cool looking like stuff, all males. I wanted them females. And then the clutch right after that, probably, I keep saying this, but my best KRG clutch I've ever made, 6 babies, 3 visual pieds, and 1 gene packed female. All 4 of those are females. And I got a KRG and a leopard KRG male. So I'm like, they switch back and forth.
Yeah.
Now, if you only have 1 or 2 clutches, you'll never see it. But when you have 15 or 20, it's like, oh, you get super lucky on this one and shot on the other one.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, it definitely helps to play with some numbers. I've kind of, so I run 2 racks for adults, 11 high. And I can produce 30 clutches with that. And then with my normal life and normal job and all that, that's like the workload I'm comfortable with.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm just like, all right, I'm staying in these 2 racks. And then every year I make cuts. Like, as I'm cycling newer stuff over there, I'm selling off older stuff and kind of like that Aussie method or whatever.
Yeah.
But until, like when my youngest kids will be graduating in about less than 5 years now. So then at that point, like financial things will change in my personal life. So then at that point, I might be like more full-time and part-time on my normal job, and I can expand a little bit more and stuff like that.
Yeah, you need the square footage, right?
Yeah, and it's like it's all about balance and time, man. It's like time is so precious, It's like
absolutely.
There's never enough of it.
So, guys, we're going to cut off real quick and take a sponsor break, and we'll be right back.
Perfect.
1, 2, 3, 4.
thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors again. Sorry. And all their descriptions are down below. You can follow them on Instagram, Morph Market. Hit them up. All excellent people. I stand behind all my sponsors. They're excellent breeders. So there we go. All right, back to comments. Hey, Pat and Joy.
Going on? Shane. So one project, I don't know if it's still, I guess it's still a Dinker project, but you've been working it for a few years now, the Calico project. What have you figured out with that over the past few years of you working it? I know at the start you thought it, could have been the same as Calico, all that stuff.
I'm basically still right there.
Okay.
All right. So this is what I have. I don't know why she keeps going off. Anyways, I'm basically still at that point. I don't know if it's Calico or sugar.
Okay.
I know the stuff that I produce seems to be high expression, so that part's cool. Reacts really good with anything in the yellow belly complex.
Yep.
We were talking about sex odds earlier, so I started with that like from the beginning base. It was in clown though already, so like I started working clown, so I wanted to hit a spot nose, yellow belly, calico clown, and I hit it, but it was a female. I wanted it as a male, but I got her. And the funny thing though, is very redeeming about that. At Charlotte, right now I'm just hatching my first clutch of the year. My season's different than everyone else's. So anyways, I'm at Charlotte and I just brought some holdbacks, put some prices on some, put some not for sales on others. And there was a bunch of like pet type people there that didn't know the difference between like hog noses and ball pythons. So I was like educating them. And all of these people that weren't reptile people were drawn to that snake. And that one was the one that they kept putting all their fingerprints on and shit. And I'm like, that's pretty cool, man, because they don't even know that this is cool and they think it's cool. I'm like, all right, I'm doing something right. So
it's the grandma test.
I did do one pairing of calico to calico. Nothing came out looking like a super.
Okay.
It was like a 5-egg clutch. I only hit 2 calicos. So I had calico on both sides, obviously. I had spot nose on one side in one of the animals, but everything in the clutch was spot nose, and I only hit 2 calicos. So that was weird. So
okay. Is that original female that you produced up to breed? Is she proven? Like, what have you done with her now? Yeah,
she was she was the one that I tried for the super with and made a bunch of. She was a spot nose calico. I still got her in the rack, and the dad's a yellow belly calico clown.
Okay.
I hit the clown version, and I've hit hets, and when I sell it, whatever the calico sugar price is, that's just the same price I sell it as. So I don't try to like, oh, that's something totally different. Even if it was genetically different right now, as we speak, it still gives a similar look. So,
Right. Hey, Frank.
What's going on, man?
But if I do prove out a super one day, then that might change,
Right. Right. And everyone who bought Calico is going to be super excited.
Yeah. I mean, they got in good. So,
right.
Yeah. That's one of my pet projects, and it's tied into clown, and it's tied into the G-Stripe clown project, so it all works.
Got you.
I'm actually going to be putting it into Krypton too, because I do have a little bit of Krypton stuff that just ties in. You can make G-Stripe Kryptons too. So, I'm adding that calico to like Cypress Krypton as the goal animal with that. So, try to see what that does. Just try some little different stuff with it, see how it reacts.
Got you. Yeah. Smart. Who talked you into the Krypton stuff?
I actually had it on accident. I bought back in 2019, I bought a gravel Cypress from Miguel at Always Evolving Pythons. And then I bred it just to make like hets with Cypress and gravel to a clown. And I spit out Kryptons. And then I messaged him. I'm like, hey, this girl's het cryptic. And he's like, oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you all my Cypress stuff's been throwing Kryptons. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I hatched a bunch of cool animals out of that clutch, and I'm breeding one of those animals this year too, because I hit a highway Krypton that's like Poss all kinds of stuff. He looks like a pink sock now.
Oh, wow.
He's like possible cypress, GHI, fire, red stripe, like all these things, you know. And I'm like, I don't know. So I bred him to a plain desert ghost. I'm doing it the old school way, just to break up the genes and see what happens. I'm trying not to test him, you know, but I know.
How many clutches have you had this year?
I've only had 2 this year, so like I'm breeding right now.
Yeah.
So all my stuff like goes like between whatever the New Year's are. That's when it's going. So like if you look at the Tinleys, I'm heaviest in March when everyone else is heaviest in October. So I'm kind of the opposite of everyone else. So I like it though. I like it that way.
That's kind of what I've been struggling with because we've only had 4 clutches this year. And this is our first year to make any babies. So it's like, well, trying to figure out when is all my stuff going to hit. You know, I'm still breeding throughout the year, doing all that. So it's nice to see somebody else is just kind of like getting, you know, starting to get clutches. And we have, I think, 4 females that's still going to go this year. So
yeah, every year I always feel like I'm super late, which I am, but you know, like I see everyone hatching and lots of people are already done too by now. But I mean, it all works itself out. That's all from my move from California to here. So in California, I had stuff going like year round is how it looked.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I moved, it like just kicked all these girls into like building and growing follicles. And then so it just like changed them all to like going in the winter. And they just stayed on that since then.
Interesting. I'm very curious because this is by far my latest season. I have 28 clutches down, and only I think 9. No, I just cut 12. So by far the latest I've ever went. Do you think your sales, you know, seeing that you're getting a ton of new stuff in March, February time, like your sales are higher? Because like you said, everyone's hitting their peak right now where kind of the market's very dried up usually. But super early in the year, do you think you are that's a good spot for you to be in?
I like it. I don't have trouble selling animals, and that's partially because of that, I believe. And so yeah, I like it. I don't want it to change. I could tell you that. I like it just the way it is, you know. It does kind of suck when you're hatching a bunch over winter, like during the no shipping time. Yeah. Like that's like when I'm heavy. It's like stuff keeps coming out and I'm like, oh, there's no shipping, and people are buying animals and I'm holding them until I can ship type thing. But that's the only drawback of that.
Right.
But it's got to be good because it's kind of like after Christmas, people has spent that money. They're trying to recover from it. And then your stuff drops. And, you know, that was kind of one of my questions before. When do you post your animals? Are they still, because, you know, we kind of talked about this in the Patreon the other day on the Zoom call about shipping size and stuff. And some people are like, after 5 mils, I'm right there at after 5 mils and at least 100 grams. Do you still, you know, is that kind of when you plan on posting online or wherever you post at is around 100 grams?
Yeah, but that's an eyeball 100 grams.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So I just, the way they look in my palm, I'll post them. And if they're selling like on social media, the only time I weigh anything in my collection is if I'm going to post it to like Husbandry Pro store or Morph Market. That is the only time I break out a scale. I don't know about it, how anyone else does it, but I'm like 5 mils and it's like a good coil in the palm. Yeah. It's good to go.
Well,
and I only feed frozen thawed. So if an animal starts right off on frozen thawed and eats 5 consecutive meals, I know it's good to go. Like I know it's going to eat for anyone anywhere.
A lot of your customers are reoccurring, right?
Yeah.
It's still, so you know your customer base and not just somebody getting on Morph Market and going, hey, this is pretty.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think that makes a huge difference too.
And if I do have like problem eaters or smaller ones, I just keep feeding them up or whatever.
Right.
I did just have a clutch like where there was 2 babies that I could not get on frozen thaw, but they would take live. But I mean, that was like my own personal defeat to the majority. Everyone else does live, so they don't even care, you know, but So
I like making sure if my customers that are buying locally are actually buying live, I feed live. So I want them to feed live. That way they come back to me and buy rodents.
yeah. I mean, that's the whole circle of life there, you know,
That's
keep them. Yeah. And as far as shipping, like I learned how to ship when I was in the desert. And then if you flip that script, I'm comfortable shipping in a lot of circumstances. Other people wouldn't, you know, that's just my personal thing. Cause I've shipped to Alaska in the winter. Snakes made it fine. I got a certain way I do it. I mean, they're not hard set rules, but like if it's a big temperature change, like one side's super hot, one side's super cold, and then, you know, I'll wait, but I'll ship during the winter. It's usually somebody not wanting to receive it during the winter is like the hard part, but I can ship.
So do you ship to home and UPS stores, or do you just ship to UPS?
I only ship to hubs, FedEx hubs. If they're like, there's rare occurrences like where some people are like an hour and a half away from one. Then I will, but then I'm like definitely watching the temperatures a lot more. Like, is their local temperature smoking hot because their delivery van ain't gonna have AC and stuff in it, you know? So yeah, I look at that.
So I always have them shipped to our house, because our local one's in Texas. I live in Oklahoma, but actually ours is delivered in a van that is it's just a regular vehicle. So I feel safer knowing that they're probably better off having them shipped to my home than they are there.
Right.
So
yeah, and it always changes. Like I know, like when I lived in Bakersfield, my hub there was the airport, so it flew from there to whatever. Like if it was going to Indianapolis, it would fly. So like I knew, like, oh, I don't even care if it's 110 degrees where I'm at, because it's going
right on a plane.
Yeah, it's not going on any truck anywhere, you know.
Right.
Awesome. One thing I'm curious about is, again, since 2019, a lot of your stuff has been well documented. How has the change on social media, YouTube, Instagram, now Patreon stuff, shifted for the better in your eyes? Like what have been the biggest changes that you've seen for the positive since 19 on the internet for the reptile hobby?
There's a lot more people willing to do it, like YouTube especially. There wasn't a lot when I started, and it was like a big leap, and there's a bunch of nerves and, you know, whatever back then. But I think more people are doing social media in general. And I think, even though I don't use the platform, I think TikTok's helped with that, because you see a lot more reels and stuff, because everyone had to start doing those like short and YouTube shorts and all that stuff. You see a lot more of that, and I think TikTok helped with all that. So, but I don't participate on TikTok. I'm slacking there. I do have an account. I don't even know if I can log back in it though. I haven't went on it in a year or two. But
I haven't posted.
Hey Gerald, what's up?
Sammy,
You can't use Shane's line.
He parks like a Frenchman. I'm just putting that out there. He'll know what I mean.
Sammy, I'm guessing you're talking about Tinley.
Tinley, yeah.
I'll be leaving Friday at like 6 a.m. for Tinley. Hopefully be out there, 1 o'clock-ish, noonish time. So I'm excited.
That's another show I'm not going to be making. But honestly, I was there once. It was great. I loved it. But that's a hard show for me to go to. There was just too many people. Man, like I said, asshole to elbows the whole time.
That is true.
Yeah, that's when I like to be a vendor, because I don't like a lot of uncontrolled movement and feeling like, I don't know, I like to be free.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, say a Tinley, when there's the mad rush during certain times of the day, like I'm happy to be behind the table. But then when it thins out, I'm like, I feel like I'm stuck behind the table, because then I can't go run around. So there's goods and bads to it. But I don't like a packed house. I like wide rows. I like room to move.
Yeah, that's me. I'm able to move around.
I like the mosh pit sometimes. It just, I don't know why. Both on a vendor and a seller side. On on a vendor side, it's like, okay, people are gonna throw elbows to come see the snakes, so that's cool. It means they want to be there, and they know if they leave, they might not. That snake won't be there next time they come back, so that's nice.
Right,
Gerald, that's not good.
I don't know why. Just being in like the crowd of people who are all like feel the same. If they have deodorant on,
well,
great.
Redline has Redline deodorant now.
There we go. I think that is the greatest innovation in the reptile hobby ever. They need to just sell it at the door, just as people come in.
Yeah,
just pass it out for free, dude.
But no, I love the like mosh pit like style that's at Tinley.
Yeah, but I mean, like a mosh pit, I can go in and I can come and go at will. You know, like once you're out with the Tinley thing, it's like, oh god, yeah. But
there's a lot of doors to go out of, Shane.
Yeah, I know. I like to zip right where I'm going though.
I was going to say Tyler's young. Of course, he likes the mosh pit. Us older folks, we're over all that. We just don't want to be touched.
Yeah, I guess so. Whatever.
So social media, I say, is better now. It's a little. Yeah, I'd say it's better overall. What do you say, Tyler? You were right there with me back when I started. What do you say?
God, I think it is. I think it's better too. The community's grown like crazy, and the difference that people are making, and the changes that I've seen through people. Like you've been a huge one since 19. The innovation that you've done with your social medias, Patreons, all that stuff, kind of from when we started talking in 19 to now, has been ridiculous. And I think there's other people. Leviathan really came in hot with the marketing and the social media, and there's a lot of other people that have come in more recently and just absolutely destroyed internet social media marketing. And Emily are like great ones as well. That again, when I first started getting snakes and was on YouTube's and social medias in like 2016, it's just like ridiculous to see how nuts it's gone. I'm excited.
Ed and Emily especially. So like I bought like 30 snakes in a month. I ended up with mites, right? So I go on YouTube, like, how do I get rid of mites? And it's Emily like in her living room. And like in the tub and all this shit. And then now, like look at her now, I'm like, damn, like they grew like damn, man. They're huge.
They are an anomaly. Like it is crazy. There's industry, there's people in every industry that are just, different. and they're one. And they came at a perfect time. I think.
Hey, Santos.
Kind of passing the torch from where I grew up on, who I grew up on. Brian, obviously passing to now. It's like seeing, and that's the fun part about myself going to shows and being on social media, is I was 12, like Patrick said, like super into the Brian stuff and super into your stuff. Like that's what I was kind of like grown on, and then seeing it shift to kids are running around with show maps, stamping stickers to go get a pin, and it's like that's it's crazy. They are amazing. I've thought about, because I think every single kid, there's not been a show since they've started that I've not been asked if I know who they are.
Right.
So next show, I think I gotta get a picture with Ed and Emily and make a life-size cardboard cutout and just put it at my booth, and it would be perfect. Everyone would come and be like, oh, obviously you know who they are. Yep, that's me. I know them. Here you go. They're an anomaly, and I can't believe what they've done. It's crazy, and they're just gonna keep doing more and more and more crazy stuff. Love it.
Yeah. Gerald has a question for you.
Did you watch Shane's? Yes, I watched Shane's old stuff. I don't even know. You'd have to look at like the subscriber count. I was probably very quick on that one. I'm one of his first subscribers.
How old are you now, Tyler? If you don't mind me asking.
19.
Yeah. So yeah, you were young.
And
You were young.
that was 5 years ago. I'll be 20 in January, so it's
All right.
5 years ago.
Just a puppy. Oh wow. I thought you were like 22 or 23.
I can't even drink yet. No.
Well,
Can't rent
legal.
a car. No, we're still in a weird spot here.
That's
yeah.
funny.
So it'll be 20 in January, but it's been, again, like I said, like wicked. When I came in, I was like young pup. There wasn't a ton of younger people like on social media or like out there.
Mhm.
Now I forget the girl's name and I feel really bad. The girl who does like a ton of bugs, like, I don't know if she does like mostly like tarantulas. I see her everywhere.
Tarantula cat?
Maybe. I don't know. She's like 10, maybe.
Oh no,
No,
tarantula. No.
Just like this young girl, she was at Dallas, like 10 tables of tarantulas. I was like, what the hell's going on? There's a ton of young kids, especially at like the national shows that you see going up on the auction stage, which is also interesting. Another kid who does bugs, seeing it's crazy to see that. When I started, there wasn't anything like that. There was me and maybe one or two other people. Blue Jar was just starting up, but it's cool to see like the next generation of Reptile.
Remember the one kid that was the girl, but it was really her dad, we all thought. And then her dad, remember that?
Do you know? Oh God. The only there was Blue Jar. There was, who was the other younger girl who's friends with Blue Jar? It was like Nikki's. I think Nikki was the mom's name. I don't know. Those are like the two big ones I remember.
Yeah.
When I was kind of starting up, there was
there was Samson before Brian took it over for him.
Yes. Yeah, right. I was like, yeah, Samson, but it's his father's stuff now. Yeah, and seeing some of the people now.
Bird. There was the Bird, whatever Bird girl. Remember, she used to be in all the YouTube chats, and then it ended up really being her dad, and he was catfishing everyone.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, I do remember that.
I knew it.
Remember that.
That's
There was some crazy fun stuff, and reaching out, it's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm the only one left from like that kind of. I haven't really seen like Miranda in forever. I know she's still around. I talk to her occasionally, but like I had a really good buddy, Dino Torloni, who now works at like Gatorland, but doesn't really do his own stuff anymore. So I'm excited to see this new like wave of young people come in, and hopefully, again, and if you get 10 kids, kind of was like my clique, and I am probably the only one at scale and like doing it still. Again, if we even run at a 1 in 10, Ed and Emily are bringing in tens of thousands of kids. Like this is
yes.
The payoff might not be the second with 10-year-old kids buying tons of snakes, but when they're 15, 16, 17, 8, 19, it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, 5-10 years goes by in a blink of an eye. When you're my age, you're just like, oh, all right, I'll wait 5 years.
I'll wait.
Yeah, whatever.
Like, come on. That's another third of my life. Come on, Shane.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, well, I really don't got any more questions. Holly, what do you got?
I'm just kind of reading through the comments over here and everything. I just
Station. Yeah.
just want to, where am I at? I think I forgot to put the outro on here, but that's okay.
Yeah. We got Station was a big one.
Yeah.
Back in the day, but I think they're out now.
Yeah, I haven't seen them around.
Yeah.
Bear wants to know what hognose projects you're working.
Yeah.
What hognose projects am I working? I'm working reds, baby, reds. I love red because you don't have red in ball pythons. I love red in the hognose. That's like my main theme. But I'm like, as far as like because that's polygenics, that's line bred stuff for people that don't know that. But I got like Xanthic, albino, Conda, Arctic. I got lemon ghost. I got a bunch of cool stuff that'll be breeding next year. So stay on the lookout for that. But
yeah, I was gonna ask this question, but I didn't know if like it was a touchy subject for Redline sponsors. Shane, go ahead.
Oh, you want me to answer it? All right.
Yeah, I have my own.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it evolves. I don't see them having the contacts and the manpower to man the phones like Redline does.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that would be a big difference. But it'll be interesting to see how it evolves.
Yeah, I think I'm very, very similar. It's gonna probably not take too much of Redline's business. Or maybe even, I mean, it's going to take some, but I think it's going to focus on the people who we don't really see on social media who are shipping, maybe 2 clutches of snakes a year. And it's just easier to go through the same, you sell on here, you ship on here, you do all that. I think there might be, unless, something changes. The biggest thing is going to be, like you said, how you treat your customers, your relationship with customers. Because that was the big thing when Redline was kind of on the rise. I was a Ship Your Reptiles guy forever since I was 12. That's who I shipped with until a year ago. At Dallas is when I switched to Redline, and it is through relationship. I know X amount of people who ship with Robin, and I talked to Robin, great guy. Like, I don't know how that aspect is not going to be the same. I don't think.
Let me ask you this. All right. So here's something that Redline will do. Say you're shipping, you're real new to shipping. Maybe it's even your first time shipping.
Yep.
You can call Redline and they'll walk you through it. Like, okay, these are your temps. This is what you need to do. You need a heat pack. You need a cool pack. You need a face pack, whatever it is. What species, whatever. They will walk you through it. Is Morph Market prepared to do that?
No.
Exactly.
And is anyone on their staff that could do that?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And it's more going to be blessing people like the Bauds with shipping on this auction and stuff too. They're so giving.
Right.
And to me, that's the people I want to use.
Right.
I think.
No, exactly. Robin spends Redline money on helping our community.
Yes.
And build the community too, like the Redline patches and all that stuff. Like that became the new sticker swap. Yep. Now we're doing patches. Like it's a community building event. The whole Redline road trip. He sent us to Canada. He doesn't even ship to Canada, right? Yep. But it was a community building event that we turned it into. And
I think Robin and the biggest thing was I don't know, Shane. You shipped with Ship Your Reptiles prior to Robin, or who, like Robin?
Yeah, I was Reptiles Express mainly, and then I just switched to Ship Your Reptiles. There was another incident, had a falling out, and then I went over to Robin.
Right, I think,
and I'll never leave Robin.
Neither will I. I think the way all the businesses are, you do the same thing. You pack a snake, you ship it, you whatever. The difference is in their customer service.
Yes.
He blew me away. I was like, no, I've shipped with Ship Your Reptiles for 6 years. I got absolutely bombarded to talking with Robin through a ton of different people. I talked to him. I was like, yep, that day I was like, okay, yep, here's my email, blah, 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 like everything. Here it is. Right. This is who I use now. And that's how they keep their customers. And again, I think Ship Your Reptiles and Redline and whatever, Reptiles to You or whoever's kind of still doing it, those are the 2 big ones. Might lose the people who ship 1 or 2 clutches a year and might be 100% focused on price. If Morph Market's shipping is cheaper than Redline's, which I don't know if it will be, I don't think that's what a lot of us are specifically looking at, right? Like if they're $3 cheaper to ship a package, I'm not switching. I'm not switching. The customer relationship aspect with Redline is greater than $3 or $10 on a package for a lot of people. So
yeah, I haven't done the price comparison. I have heard other people tell me they did, and like right now during this beta phase, it is like significantly cheaper. They're doing it at their cost. But how long is that sustainable? I don't know. What's the real intention there? Is there nefarious things going on? I don't know. I'm not in everyone else's brain. But something that gets overlooked with Redline that I enjoy. I don't want to talk to people. And I'm doing stuff I'm doing things I shouldn't be doing. And I'm on my phone making fucking Redline's website is the best. Hands down. So intuitive. And it saves my things the way I want it. And I can rebook to my other customers. And I'm just like, all right, boom, boom, boom. Yep, got your label. Boom, shoom, here's your tracking. I could do all that one-handed while I'm doing other things. You know? Nobody else's website's even remotely close to that.
Yeah.
That's another. Yeah. Their insurance only goes up to $250.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see how it evolves. It's one of those other things that they've added and taken away so many things since Darian came in, and Darian's done some good things, some great things.
So somebody in the Reptile Lounge actually did the price comparison, and as of right now, it's like $10 cheaper to ship with Morph Market.
Right.
It's $10. I'm going to pay the $10 extra. I've done auctions in the past, and Robin's like, hey, here's he emailed me, here's you some codes. Let's get this out. I just, that to me speaks volumes about him as a person. And somebody that does that owns their own shipping company, runs their own business. Hey, I'm going to stick with that person.
Yeah. So I think we'll see what kind of comes from the Morph Market shipping. They might add it. He's a very smart businessman. So if he runs through it and goes, it's working, I'm going to up my price a bit and still do, he's a very, very, very smart guy. Yep. He might do it on a month beta and it not work and take it away. He's done that with a ton of different little aspects of Morph Market over the past 2 years he's had it now, 3 years he's had it now. So
I rarely go on Morph Market. I'm being honestly, I rarely go on it, but every time I do, it's different. And I'm like, God, I'm just moving the buttons, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think they need to get rid of hey and her in the searches, because I can't type het without it always changing to her or hey. Yes.
Yeah,
that is very true.
Yeah.
Team Redline.
Yeah, and every show I go to, there is a Redline representative there too.
Yes.
So at Charlotte, I met Erica. She's one of the people I've talked to on the phone when I had a problem. They're real people that are in the community and involved in the community. So that speaks volumes to me. They're not just there for a quick buck to make money on us shipping, they're out there in the community helping us build it and keep it positive. So Team Redline, red team, baby. Red team. That's what I'm saying. Red.
I shouldn't have worn the green shirt today.
Where you go, Tyler?
Redline. I just got the limited edition shirt.
There was only 111 green shirts ever made, Tyler. So there you go.
I need a special blue one or something. I don't know. When we need more limited edition tees from Shane.
Well, maybe if you get in his Patreon, he may do something like that for his members.
There is a Patreon exclusive one too. There is one.
I'm going to start collecting every shirt.
I'm doing that this weekend. I need to catch up on the members. So
awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're over an hour. I know Shane's got to work tomorrow. We all got stuff to do here. So thank you for coming on and hanging out with us. We appreciate you, man. Tyler, is there anything else?
No, nothing besides, you have your own symbol,
everybody.
So I guess. No, thank you again for hopping on, man. It was great catching up.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
I won't see you at Tinley. I was looking forward to that, but
I'll be there in
Okay.
March. I'm gonna try my best to be there
I'll
in March.
catch you there. I'll catch
And
you
if
there.
Shane, if you need anybody to work the booth with you, hit me up.
Will do. Will do.
Well, no, thank you again so much, man. And
Thank you guys.
we'll see you guys this Saturday on the Reptile Lounge.
And don't forget to tune in Sunday for the auction.
True that.
Auction,
And
baby.
I don't know if this is the correct outro, but I'm going to play it anyway.
All right, let's see what it does.
All right.
See you guys.